share. Right, as you can see here, this is my app, right? Shit. This is my app, which have login, logout, authentication, read user, and update user. Some of them doesn't work. It's only have, for example, some of them doesn't work. Update or delete. As you can see here, it's empty. The controller is empty. Is it enough? Right. So they are empty. Same thing for reviews and tours. And here's how my routers look like for now. So the first step, I'm gonna rewrite the routers so that I can, like, I don't want to put every route on the router in just one file here. I want to like put them in separate routers here. Let's say I'm gonna create a new folder called routers, right? And it's the same level as controller, middleware, models, and router. They are all in the same level. Inside here, I'm gonna say I'm gonna create a tour controller, a tour router, right? A tour router, as well as review router, as well as user, and one more thing, auth router. So I create 4 routers file here, and I'm gonna move them all into these file. Too many. Right, next I'm gonna move, let's say I'm gonna move the tour first, right? I'm gonna move these two, cut. Wait, I'm gonna show you that these router actually work first. And npm run dev. So running on port 5000, and we have the tour, read, get tours, right? Get tours. Open our postman, and get tours. Get on the tours, right? Send it. Okay, it does work. I can see one tour here, which I created last night, right? So the tour name is Wonderful Tour to Japan. Now I want to refactor the router here. I'm gonna cut all the router that belong to the tours, cut it, and tour route, gonna paste them all here. So now first thing first, we need to import these, the router, the read tour, the auth, the gray tour, all of these variable or constant, you can call them constant. I'm gonna first router equal to what? Require express, right? And here you have to call router, right? That's it. So you import router from express router. That's one. And we need read tour, gray tour, and these 3. Basically we need 5 controllers. And how do we get that? They're all here. So I'm gonna go here, cut them, paste them here, and then we have to change the path a little bit. So basically controllers will be in the same level as the router, so we have to go up 1 level, right? And cool, that's it. And we missed one thing, auth. So I'm gonna copy the auth as well. Where the hell is the auth? Here. So I'm gonna copy the path and import the auth as well. Equal to require. No. What's wrong? Copy this. Require and go up 1 level. Same thing. Right. Basically, we import everything here and then consume. Cool. Right, and one last thing we have to do is export the router here. We need to export it in order to use inside our app.js. So module.export equal to router, right? And then we need to import here. So I'm gonna import cons to router equal to require. We need to go into the routers and we say to router. Okay, and then we can use like this, router.use and then tour, comma tour router. That's it. Simple. Cool. So I copy everything and paste it in the tour router file. I change the import as well, the path here, and I delete those that I don't need anymore. And I'm gonna use, so this one is gonna be a middleware for router, a router middleware. So this function is gonna be a router middleware, and there's one more thing we need to do is like we need to delete the tools here because we have two tools, right? So this tool is gonna be inside the tools. So let's see what happened here if I don't delete it. Go back to the Postman, and then if you click send again, find that file, like the path not found. So meaning there's no short endpoint. So if I slash tools again, and when you send it, okay, you see the same results, right? So we need to delete this one, delete this tool, delete it, and we still keep the ID, right? Make sense? I'm gonna move the chat window here. So how to see chat window? No one asked, right? So I'm gonna move the review as well. I'm gonna cut on reviews, paste them in here, and copy and paste. So there's a lot of copy and paste here. Don't worry, I'm copying my old code, and I'm gonna review, cut them, put some here, and then space, and then I also copy the last line here. A lot of copy and paste. Okay, one more thing, we need check tool, right? Check tool, and check tool is here. So as you can see, it's right out, meaning we are not using it anymore. So I'm gonna cut the whole line and paste in here. Okay, and go up one level. I call the folder middlewares, but I think you call it differently. I don't know, but I call it, for some reason I call it middlewares last 4 months ago. I'm gonna save it, and here as well. Here I need to import it. What should I call it? Review router, and then here I'm gonna say tool slash TID. TID means to ID, and here we have reviews, right? And I'm gonna change this one to review router, and it will not work. It will not work yet. The reason here is I haven't deleted the reviews here, so I'm gonna delete it. Still, it's not gonna work. Right, it's not gonna work. I will show you why. Go to Postman, and if you look at all reviews here, so in order to see on review here, we need the ID of the tour, the ID of the tour. So I have the ID here. Go to on tools. I have the ID of the tools here, right? Copy it, paste it here, send. See, tool not found. So now we need to go back and see why the tool is not found. Actually, this message is from the check tool, I guess. It's definitely from the check tool middleware. It's from here. So I'm calling this route API. I'm calling this endpoint, right? The get request for this route, and there's a middleware called check tool. Yeah, I'm gonna open the check tool middleware. So here's the middleware. So this middleware is gonna check. It's checking the request.body.tool. What the hell is this? I don't know. So basically we need request.body.tool, but there is not request.body.tool. I don't know why I have that. There's nothing inside the body, it's in the URL. So the code is wrong. It's not really wrong, but I did it differently comparing to the last time I demoed for you guys. So let's say console log request.body.tool. So this is how you debug, right? You see the error message, and basically you may want to copy the error message here, and you're gonna want to find it inside your code. And basically there are two places that mention this text tool not found. The first one is inside the tool controller, and let's see, it's inside the tool controller, and this controller, it read a single tool, which we didn't call it. We call the read tools here. We didn't call the single tool function. So another one is inside the check tool middleware, and this middleware also have a message text, a tool not found. We have called it tool not found. So basically there's something wrong in this function, and then we're gonna check. This function requires something called request.body.tool in order to check this condition, and also to find the tool based on this ID, I guess, based on this ID. So as it calls here, I can tell that, okay, request.body.tool is supposed to be an ID, right? It's supposed to be an ID. And actually I see this message, it means there's no short ID. So I'm gonna say console log request.body.tool, and let's see what happened here. Again, I'm gonna send a request, same result, but if you check the terminal, you see undefined. Okay, undefined here. And why is that undefined? Because we didn't pass anything inside the body. We only pass it in the URL, which URL did it different than mine. I think so. I need to change my code here a little bit. Instead of request.body.tool, what I call it, it should be param, I guess. Params.tid. Because I call it TID here, right? I call it TID here, so I need to do request.params.tid, and that's gonna be the same error, the same result. Is still undefined. So now what the hell? I actually have the TID here, so why can it not? Why doesn't it understand the TID, right? The answer is this param only understood inside review control router. The child, the subsequent, let's say review router, and these route are subsequent router. So these are the subsequent router. It does not, they don't understand. They don't understand TID at all. They don't understand TID. I will show you. They don't understand TID. So that's why we need to, as you can see here, even though I provided it, but if you check the log, it's undefined because they don't understand the TID. So in order to make them understand, we need to merge params, like some concept, merge params. So basically you have an option here in the router sheet. Inside the router here, you have an option called merge param, right? True. So we have this option in order to make our subsequent routers understand the params that belong to the parent router, right? So let's save it and check again. Send. Oh shit. Yeah, there's an ID here already. So as you can see, there's an ID. It's not undefined anymore. There's an actual ID, and this ID from here, same ID, right? So now I have that ID, and I had to go back and check my code. Instead of request body.tour, I'm gonna change this one to this and this. Cool. I'm gonna save and test again with Postman. Right? So there's no review for this tour yet. Yes, but it means our route is now produce the same result comparing to before we refactor it. Right. I'm gonna move on to the user and the login, logout as well. So I'm gonna cut this user and go to user route here, paste them, as well as this one. So user this one should be up. Right, and I have to move these as well. Just like before, we have to go up one level, and also we have to copy and paste this. What else do we need? We need auth, so I'm gonna copy and paste auth as well. Allow copy and paste. Right, 1 2 3 4 5 controller, 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, that's it. And we need to export it. Module.export equal router. Right, and here we need to import. Where is it? Oh, here. This one I'm gonna import them. User router. This one user router as well. So these you already have all the code. So right now we are just refactor it. So I suppose you should understand your code pretty well right now. So I'm gonna do it real quick. Change this one to user. Right. And inside user, I'm gonna delete this user and this one as well, and this one. Right. Save. So basically, user/me is gonna return a raw file, my raw file, the current user raw file. Cool. Now, lastly, this auth. So right now it's just login. I'm gonna say something like auth here. So right now I'm just gonna copy and paste. Go inside the auth router, same thing. There's a lot of copy and paste. And here as well. Go back one level. What else? 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Right. So one last line. Everything is fine. And here I'm gonna one more. This one's gonna be auth, and this one's gonna be auth, as well as this one. Fine, done. So basically, I refactor. I put separate. I separate all the router in different files here. So it looks nice. It looks cleaner. And then in your app.js, you only have 4 lines instead of having all these, right? And that's it. And this is just for adding more genres or categories. It's just my custom function. You don't have to worry about it. All right. So let's test again. Let's go back and test our route here if it's work. I'm gonna log in with my account here. 1 2 3 4 5. Send it. Okay, successfully log in. And I want to see on the tools. Wrong. cast object fail for value tool at path ID. So holy shit, now I have a problem. Oh, because the tool is wrong, the path is wrong. Delete it. I want to see all the tools work. It works well. And I want to see all the reviews here work well. I want to create a new tool, for example. Create a new tool, wonderful tool to China. Let's go to China. This one. Okay, and this is me, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna be the guy for this tool as well. Send it. Successfully created, right? So I'll go back and check on the tool. There should be two tools, China and Japan. And let's create another review. It's a good experience. Yes. And I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna make a review for the Japan tour here. Review for Japan tour. A body 4-star. Good experience. Right, done. Alright, for some reason I also see the user here. Tool is no. Holy shit, tool is no. Why the hell is tool is no? I make a review, but the tool is no, and it's still successfully created. It's bullshit. Something wrong in the code. I go back. So when you refactor the code, you need to like check on the cases, and then you go back and then you read the which route is it? Post, tool, and then reviews. Post, tool, and review. So tool is inside review. Sorry. Post, auth, check tool, and then create review. So I'm gonna open create review here. Oh shit! It actually read the body. It doesn't read the params. So I had to change it. Request params dot tid. Remember, this code is so old that I use a different like endpoint, so I didn't have the params. Right, everything is fine. Right, test again. Great. Now I have tool. Right, cool. So everything works fine, but the tool here is an object. I don't want to see the whole object here. I want to see only the ID. I don't want to see all the information about the tool, because when I create a review for this tool, I suppose I should have this information already. I don't want to populate it again. I don't want to populate it again in the code, so I suspect inside my code there should be somewhere that I populate the information. All right, right here. So I have this line in my schema. I have a verify schema. It's kind of like a middleware, a hook. So this populates. So I don't want this line anymore. Disable it. And then I'm gonna create. I want to make a new one. So it's gonna be 3. Send 3. So same thing. So the tool here is an ID. It's not the whole object now, because I disabled the populate. So rating is 3. Alright, rating is 3. It's a good experience. Yes, it's a good experience. So now I'm gonna see all reviews for this tool. So I only see one review. Why? I did a couple of times. Why the hell is 4? I remember it's 3 now. Let's say 5. It's a what? Change this one to 1. It's a bad experience. Alright, it's a bad experience, and this one is still, oh sorry, still it doesn't get updated. Oh holy shit, it doesn't get updated. Haha. Why is that? Am I getting the correct ID? So as you can see here, it doesn't update my how do I say, my how do I say, my review for this tool, because there's something wrong here already. The tool here is no, it cannot update it. So let's see. I have to go back to my. Now I have some bug in my code. I have to open my compass. Shit, wrong one. Compass. I want to check my database. You may run into this problem a lot of times, I guess. Yeah, jurists and other people. So you have to take a look at your database. So right now there's no here. The tool is no. I don't want to see this. It should be this information. I don't know why it's no. Let's take a look at my database. I'm gonna use localhost. Oh, so fast. So my localhost, I go to my own, this one I think, yes, and I open reviews. So actually I can see two reviews. The first one is no, and the second one is exactly what I want to see here. Okay. So I don't know why it's throw me the result no here. I have no idea. That's weird. I still see two of them, right? They all have yeah, this is the ID of the tour, and this it should be one. It's about experience. Let's check the code. I want to open my this is gonna call get and tour and review. So review, get reviews, get reviews. You have to trace review router, get reviews, get all reviews, and you go open up the this function. There's a trick here. Hold control or command in Mac or control in Windows. Click on it. It will take you to where you define the function. So this is where I define the function. So I'm gonna, oh shit, again. There's a lot of mistake here. So request body.tour. I need to change this one to params, and here's gonna be TID. Save. I go back to the code, send. Right. So I actually see the correct data here. Rating 1 is about experience, right? As I just created. What if I change this one to 5 is an excellent experience. Send it. So update it, and I want to see all the reviews belong to that tour. Right, excellent experience. Cool. So you may ask, why do I see only one review even though I pause another one, I create another one? Because in my own application logic, only one person can only review one time, right? The next time they review, I don't want to create another review. Instead, I want to update the original one. So I don't want to create any reviews. It's gonna be bullshit. Like one person can review 10 times. It doesn't make sense. For example, I want to change this one to 2 is a bad. Oh, not this one. 2 bad experience. Send again, and you actually see all reviews. It's a bad experience, right? Cool. So you will use find and update for that. Find and update instead of create. You will have to use find and update, right? So find and update, find one and update means like you create one if there's no existing document, right? If there's already one document, you update it. Okay. Cool. Yes, I think that's it about milestone 1 and 2. I fixed my code that to fit this API endpoint, right? Earlier I didn't use this kind of REST API, but I used something called, for example, reviews, and then the ID of the tool. I didn't put it in the URL. Instead, I put it in the body of the request. That's one way to do it. There's another way. This one is more like RESTful. Basically, you have the URL with the tool and the tool ID in the URL as well. And yeah, you don't have anything in the body. You have all of them in the request params. Alright, so I finished milestone 1 and I also finished milestone 2 pretty fast. and review router as well. So basically you will have something that looks like this, right? Cool. Myson tree, no, it's already 12, so I'm gonna let you guys have lunch. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here, right? Any questions? I know I have been like doing my own project. It doesn't look like your own project, but I see people complain like if I randomly pick one of you guys project and then I fix it on the go, people will get confused because like they don't understand the code at all. It's someone else's code, they don't understand it, so I decided to use my own code, which is very basic. I didn't have anything in there. It's empty. Everything is empty. I just changed some thing here. Instead of requested body to ID, I changed it to requested param to ID. That's it. And I also show you where the error come from, right? So what error did I make and how I fix it. And hopefully you guys can should be able to do that too. Okay, let's if there's no question, I'm gonna take a break and let's come back at 1:30. By then I expect you guys to finish milestone 1 and 2, right? Any questions? Hey, I received a feedback like my voice is so boring. So sleepy. I know actually bit now you gave me that kind of feedback earlier on the actually last semester she already gave me that feedback, and people actually say that too, but I don't know, my voice sound like that. Shit, just sound like how Charles giving the lecture. I'm sorry, like I speak like in one tongue. But this microphone is good. My voice is better with this. Yeah, actually refactoring here, my code is a little bit different than yours, so I do it real quick, because when you actually, if I do it slowly here, right, you will look at your code and you will compare your code with my code, and you will see that they kind of like different, and you will be more confused. So instead of doing that, I'm going to do it quickly, and you have to focus on my screen. You have to focus on my code, and you should not look at your code at all, because it's different. So you focus on my code, you see the mistake I make, and you understand my code. I would rather you look at my code and follow all of them at once. Don't compare it with your code at all during the lecture or during the walkthrough. Don't compare it with your code. After all, after we finish the lab, then you compare my code with your code, and then you figure out what's the difference, and you can fix it on your own instead of do it on the spot. So that's how I learn, and also help you to read other people's code. Right, I'm gonna delete those that I don't want. Right, let's stop here, and we will resume milestone 3 and 4. Yeah, milestone 3 and 4 at 1:30, and then take a little break, and then we will move on with the handling errors. This part is very hard. It's hard, but at the same time you don't have to repeat them again and again. You're gonna copy and paste it a lot to other projects, so don't worry too much. Right, let's follow what I do in the lab. Don't type in your code. Just don't type when I do it. Take a look. Watch me do it carefully. Right. Okay. I'm gonna stop here. Stop sharing. See you guys at 1:30. Bye.